Wow, that was quick. We're live.
And
Um,
we're live.
we're here. Oh, scary. Oh wait, I think Jack might have got it just working in time. He says, "All right, let's hope it works." So
All
maybe
right, I'm
Jack's got the bot
I'm on
working.
my I'm on my Twitch. I can.
Yeah,
Okay, that's the thing though.
I'll pull up
Do,
my Twitch so I can see the chat as well. Yeah.
that's the thing. Do we know the commands for it though?
Um, I can figure it out.
No, I'll I'll give it a quick check because I think it's exclamation point fastest lap or something. Oh, sure.
We're... Jack just comes in. Oh God, sorry, and then leaves.
Yeah, it's probably only gonna work when they're actually start doing laps. All right, they're all reading up though. Let's do this.
Okay. I don't remember any of the commands, but yes. Hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. Ignore the message I just sent in chat. I was just asked because apparently it's working. But we have no promises. But welcome everyone to Formula Virtual. Here we are for round 5 around Australia. I mean, it's a circuit I like quite a lot. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty pog. Today I have the wonderful person, which is Bufferino Phil in my comms box. Welcome, Phil.
Thank you very much.
um, he has a lot more energy than me right now. I'll tell you that much. But yes, we're gonna hopefully have a good race around here. Austria, what's your Australia? That's gonna happen many times today. But yes, what's your opinions on Australia then, Phil?
Honestly, it's probably one of my favorite circuits on track. I'm not the biggest fan of the changes they've made. I think removing that chicane in sector 2 is a bit of a shame because yeah, it just becomes a bit of a straight line speed track more than a
Hmm.
mistake track, let's say. And I'm also not the biggest fan of the change they've made in the corner at the end of the DRS zone. But it could be interesting for, to see how the drivers face it, because some of the drivers probably have done Australia for the last 5 years, and now this year it's different. So curious to see how they will handle it.
Oh well, Pog. I need to swap up my controller, so I'll be 1 second.
All good. Yeah, we're here. Q1 has just started. Everyone's still in the pits. We have 19 drivers today. I think the only team without a driver is. Let me figure it out. It's not Haas. I think it might be
Alfa Romeo,
AlphaTauri.
no, Alpha Tauri. Yeah, Alpha
I think it's
Tauri.
AlphaTauri with only it's Schukstra,
Mm.
a name that we've seen very often in FV. One of
Yes.
our season 1 members, if I'm not mistaken. So nice to see him back here.
Verify my controller's fine, but yes, thank you, Paranoid. Sorry, thank you, Phil, for filling in with that little bit of moment of my controller mishap. But yes, I think Australia's a good circuit. Street circuits either come fast and furious or really slow and treacherous, and I think they've really changed this one about to quite a high speed circuit, and that's M plates already flying across the circuit on outlaps. I don't know whose car that is, but there's M plates already spraying across the track. So um, hopefully, not as much of a disaster that was last week, but let's hope. Yeah, it should be pretty good track, I think. Not too many twisty turny bits, but you've got quite a lot of straights to work with. Um,
Quick question: is your task dashboard working?
that's a great question. No, mine isn't.
All right. It says race data has still not been initialized, but let's hope it gets there at some
Let
point.
me, because I did relay it all properly, but let me just make sure my telemetry settings haven't changed or anything. No, they're still on the right ones, unless. That should be fine.
All right, but we have our first driver on a lap, Josh Tomo in the Alfa Romeo.
Yes, he is on a lap. Phil, do you want to take us with the lap then?
Yeah, sure. We're here coming up to the part that have changed. It's not really straight, but it's full throttle all the way to the very difficult S. A touch of grass for Josh Tomo there, and then it's a quick left, quick right, obviously purple sector 2. Keeps it clean, a bit of curb, DRS open, and now we come to a very tricky corner. It's very wide, but somehow it becomes a very narrow turn. A bit of curb on the right, no curb on the exit, left. It's okay. It's not the best lap we've seen from Josh, but he keeps it clean. Just get a lap in, and across the line. This is going to be P1. Great to see an Alpha. It's an 18.9.
Yeah.
As a reference point, actually, in Division 3, Carlos Sainz for pole, he had a 17.8. So I would expect a low 17 maybe.
Ooh.
For Division 1.
Yeah, I think there are. I think we got some better times than that. And of course, Q1 isn't going to be the quickest of the bunch. We got most drivers will lift off a little bit here, not to show their true pace. The Monster though goes quicker. 1:18.651 for the Monster in the Williams car so far. That is the current time to beat. We do have a few cars coming across the line. One of which is a Mercedes of Zap. Which is a 1:19.903, which is a slower than the rest at the minute, but might have had a little bit of issues on that lap. Young Shots in the Alpine goes a 1:19.899.
And D-Block's had a spin.
Ooh, I think I just might have caught that. Actually, no, I haven't.
He gets out of the way of the coming driver, and no, he's not beached.
No, not beached.
He's just waiting. Thank you very much.
For those who are wondering, Eugene has he hasn't been disqualified. He didn't crash out. He did one lap to confirm his setup and then retired. As Eugene does have a qualifying ban and will be starting at the back of the grid for today's race. Which I mean, Australia really isn't actually. To be fair, it's quite a fast circuit. If you've got a fast setup on, you can probably get up the grid from last, but I don't think it'd be the ideal track to finish last on, in my opinion. Sarcher with the 2-minute 07.485 getting caught up, I think, with that little accident in Sector 3. And Gleeman.
It's not really got to be a representative time for him.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely some more pace in that Alpha. No, Aston Martin. It's AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin, where I'll get it all wrong, and McLaren and Mercedes. Doesn't help there's a Div 3 team called McLaren Mercedes. So.
True, yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Yeah. I'm not great with names. Callum YT. And never mind, Fraser Fisher, 1:18.320 for Fraser Fisher. CPI Troy, though. Currently, I assume, in the lead of the drivers because he's been winning quite consistently. A 1:18.010 for CPI Troy, doing pretty good on the first lap, and will probably be definitely through out of Q1 at least. A few times that have recently appeared on the board includes the other Mercedes of Callum, a 1:20.043. And I think we have a few across the line shortly. We have a Haas of Forzan on an outlap. The other Haas, of course, but both CPI drivers of Forzan and Troy showing some pretty good pace in the season so far. We're approaching the middle, are we? I don't know what exactly the middle race is. But
it's next race. After next race it's the break week.
Oh, I mean, yeah. So we're really close to the midpoint of the season. So having this consistency early on bodes quite well for the second half of the season, unless we see some unexpected pace from someone. Jacobo, our last winner, getting a was that lag? I think that was lag, but looked to get a little slidey there. A 1:19.530 is the time currently on the door for Jacobo. LFR Rom, a 1:18.008 for Rom.
That's a good
That
lap.
is pretty good, especially for Q1. I would think the drivers would be holding back a bit more, but maybe they do have a lot more pace to give than what we're seeing. Because you expected a 1:17, didn't you, Bufferino, Phil? So
A low 17, maybe 17.5 at least. At
yeah.
least. But you were talking about the break week coming up. We also have quite a few reserves here. So we know that some drivers are on half-season contracts. So this is the opportunity for the reserves and the Division 2 drivers to show their worth and prove that they are Division 1 capable. Division 1, yeah. They have the skills for Division 1. So be interesting to see how, for example, the Monster or D-Block or Fraser Fishy also, or Young Shots, how all these drivers perform here under pressure.
I assume they're the reserves or the Div 2 drivers then, correct?
Exactly.
Ooh, well, I mean, Fraser Fishy, the monster, doing pretty well, 4th and 6th. Young Shots 10th, maybe some more pace to come. And yeah, I mean, definitely now's the chance for these drivers to prove their worth in Div 1, definitely. Because it's that sort of, it's these sorts of things which you don't get to happen too often that really do say to your team, right, this is what I'm capable of. Forzan, I don't think's on another flyer. If he is, I am quite surprised. I assume it's going to be no. He's into the pit lane. But Forzan goes a 1:18.105, which I think will be clear enough for the knockout zone. Not a lot of drivers have set laps just yet, but I think they are sort of forced to come in.
Yeah, I think we currently have Jack on a lap in the Red Bull.
Yeah, and it's just invalidated it out of the wide. I don't know what it. I say a wide chicane because it's like not tight, but it's sort of like wide. I guess is what I call it, but I don't really know. Apparently, Jack's just gone purple sector 2, but I don't have TAS to confirm. So
It showed up on my track map too.
yeah, but sometimes the game doesn't. I don't have trust issues with this game because sometimes the purple sectors aren't right. But TTL Jack, going to be coming across the line in the Red Bull to set a lap of, drumroll please, a 1:18.240, putting it up there near his teammate. It's sort of a Red Bull sandwich 1-4 at the minute with the two Hasses in the middle. So it might be a Haas Red Bull fight going into the race today. But of course, this is only Q1, so it might not finish like this. So some drivers.
Our eyes are more set on the bottom places. We know Oysen's going to be out. D-Block still hasn't set a lap yet. We got Stefan on a lap, I think.
Yeah.
Ichukstra, you mentioned earlier, invalidated it. He seems to be on another one. We got Zap Ashboys, who has crashed at the end of Sector 1 as his teammate drives past him.
So Zap, it says Zap's P15, but has a time of a 1:19.903. So does that mean Zap's out? We just see, sorry, it goes 10th of a 1:19.108.
Oh, and Evan has a bit of traffic, but I guess that will only benefit him because it kind of gave him a tow. Let's see how he handles the long chicane here. That was pretty clean through there.
Oh god, there's yellow flags.
The runners have realized that they're probably not going to need to set another lap, so they can just retire.
Yeah.
Evan through the
definitely.
line, and it's P6.
Nice, respectable.
That should
118.
be enough to get through.
Definitely. Josh Tomo has called me out on my analogy of sandwich. You don't call a sandwich by what the bread is, you call a sandwich by what's the filling. So technically it's a Haas sandwich, but yeah. I'm sorry if my analogy offended you. Uh, anyways, um,
I'm watching D Blocks on board now. He seems to have quite a bit of oversteer, at least in the first sector. But let's see if he can set his first lap in Q1.
it's
And also,
mainly
the Aston Martins have to do better. They have the pace, but Sarcher has just invalidated his lap as D Block manages the chicane.
up to the last chicane can cause some issues with track limits and
Oh,
also the rear of the car, as evident there. Oh, and there, that's the tires have had it.
oh,
There. Oop,
okay.
reversing
He
on
had
off.
a
There
all
we
right.
go.
He had a chance to go there into the pits, but now he's gonna have to do another lap.
On those blistering hot tires. Oh god. What have we started? I talk about
Hopefully, it doesn't hold
sandwiches.
up the Alpine. Yeah.
I talk about sandwiches, and now Verify's arguing is a hot dog a sandwich? Oh, hey, D Block. Those tires definitely passed their expiry date. Needs to get back to the pits quick though. Not too much longer left in Q1. So on the limits here, Sarcher. Also on an invalidated lap. I think there might be I think there's enough time for Sarcher to get back round, but not enough time to come back into the pit lane, I would imagine. Stefan, currently in the pit lane, has to come out at some point. I can't. Oh, no, we got 2 minutes. We're fine. I thought it was somewhere around 1 minute.
I think
Jacobo, all gone.
I think Sarcher still has fuel left. I see on his steering wheel 2.3 or 2.5. I think that's the amount of laps he has fuel for. So he should be going on a new hot lap now. Stefan in the pits now.
I think Young Shots on an invalidated lap, Jacobo on a flying lap, Gleaming on a flying lap also, Forzan also on a flying lap. The Monster on an out lap, same with Id, same with Callum and Stefan, as I think you quite recently said, coming up the pit lane.
All right on board with Sarcher in the Aston Martin trying to get out, and Callum will also. I would say Callum, Young Shots, and Jacobo are all at risk because I think the Aston Martins will improve on their time.
So you're saying a 1:19 is essentially the knockoff time?
1:19.5 or something, I reckon.
1:19.5. So you're saying it's safe for now, P12?
Yeah. Let's see how Sarcher finishes his lap.
A lot of people at the front retiring. Verify, P7, thinking he's done enough. Josh Tomo, P9, thinking he's done enough. It is going to be, though, as you say, Sarcher going to be coming into the final chicane, but the tyres aren't there. It's those overheating tyres. They just didn't cool down.
I think that is it for him.
I think that's flags.
I mean,
Yeah.
on his wheel it says 1.2 laps of fuel. He might have time for another one, but
I don't think the tyres are going to last that final sector, like that final last little bit of the sector.
Callum has retired.
Ooh, Callum playing it
this-
bold.
He has retired on track. I think he crashed at the same place his teammate has, and Stefan just invalidated his lap.
So
Not looking particularly good for the Aston Martins here.
D Block also in the pit's going to take the checkered flag. As long as Sarcher doesn't blow it, but the car looks like it's already going through the first sector. It's not looking promising for Aston Martin, yeah.
I wonder
Taking the
if
gravel.
I wonder if Sarcher maybe has tire pressures too high.
Too high. Well, it's Parc Ferme now, isn't it? So we can't change them.
Yeah,
so
but tire pressures you can change.
Oh, you can change the tire pressures.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stefan coming into the pits. I think that's both the Aston Martins out then. We have Oizen, D-Block, Sarcher, and Stefan out. And the two Mercedes are also out though. So they won't participate in Q2, but they'll still start in front of the Aston Martins.
I think, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they both crashed out, didn't they? So they can't, I can't speak, can't participate. There we go. In Q2, but they do finish 15th and 14th. As Sarcher's going to come into the pits. It looked like the tyres did last the final sector, but I think maybe there's a little bit of less pushing there from Sarcher going into that part of the track to make sure the car didn't end up crashed in a wall, and then, yeah, not too great. Is TAS working for you, Phil? Just a quick update, just to see if it's working for any of us, because it's still, yeah.
I'm guessing the bot setup must have done something.
I'll put a oh, yeah, you already said yeah, you said to Greg, also known as Jack, already about all that stuff, so that's all good. I've been pinged somewhere apparently. Oh.
Although this looks very nice because until P8, the gap is 4.5 tenths, which it's nice to see, honestly. Being it a bit tight, I expect the gap to grow a bit more as the front runners push a bit more and find the limits. But yeah, Zep, Callum, Stefan, Sarcher, and D-Block and the Q-Ban Oizen are out in Q1.
Yeah. Sadly, those drivers out in Q1. Of course, Callum and Zap also will not be racing in Q2 due to a crash in Q1. So it's 13 drivers then battling it out in Q2. Bottom three in this case are going to be eliminated from the session. Slowest three get tossed off, and then Q3 is the battle of the quickest. Wherever you finish is where you're going to start. Okay, sorry about that. My throat kind of went, but we're back. It is Josh Tomo who's out first again for an outlap. Let me turn on all this. It is soft, just so everybody can see. But yes, it is Josh Tomo who is out on track first. The monster, Gleaming, Evan, all out on track as well. CPI Forzan, CPI Troy. All out on as well. I assume we'll have everyone essentially come out. It's following the trend. Young Shots, Verify. Yeah, a lot of people out on track.
Yeah, and also as we know in this new F1, the usual strategy is medium hard, so you can use as many softs as you want without really ruining your race strategy.
George Thomas waving to us with the DRS wing, I've just noticed.
Yeah, me too. Thank you very much, Josh. I wish you all the best on your hot lap.
he knows he knows he's being watched because he's the first one out. So yeah, let's go on a lap here with Josh. We're gonna go down the main straight. Well, the start finish straight. There isn't many two
Up
main
into eighth
straights.
gear, down to fourth maybe.
Yep.
Oh, he
Wow.
missed the apex there. That's at least probably 2 tenths. He lost
Ooh.
on that corner alone.
Eek. Yeah, chicanes are pretty
He handles
nasty
the
if you
next
don't nail
corner
them.
way better.
Definitely, yeah.
Looking good. He didn't really attack that corner, but the important thing is to get a lap in. Josh Tomo here, not afraid of the grass. Touches the right grass, touches the left grass.
Probably doing a good job for the circuit, lawn mowing the grass.
Attacks the curbs nicely on that corner. Down into the sharp corner that becomes basically a 90-degree right-hander.
Ooh, back end stepping out.
Quite a bit of overstay there.
Pressure got to him of being watched for the lap time. It's
That
gonna
is
be
a
a
terrible lap by Josh.
Phil being
120.8.
Phil being brutally honest. Um,
I
I
mean,
don't.
in Q1 he did what?
Yeah.
18.8 or something?
Yeah,
That's 2 seconds off his previous time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Definitely.
but Forzan also did a 19.7.
Maybe the track condition
there we
isn't.
go.
Oh, there we go. That's Troy. 118.356 for Troy. Maybe the track condition.
Apparently Josh had turned off his ERS and
he
on
was
used
on used
tires.
tires.
That's why.
Rom goes quickest, a
Fair enough,
117.697.
Josh.
CPI Troy, a 118.356, as we said, I think. Yellow flags? Oh, it's Rom. Rom is going very slowly.
Although he's 17.6, that's more like it. As Fraser Fishy goes P4 with an 18.6.
18.6, definitely some room for improvement. Fraser Fisher, with some good pace, might be going for a second flyer, but I doubt it. You can't really go for two flyers on the soft compounder tires very easily, but who knows? He could be going on a second flyer. We have most cars coming into the pit lane now, though. We have Troy on into the pit lane. There seems to be Rom, I think, is around again. Yes, he is this time. A bit closer to the barrier, so maybe some risk there of crashing out, which wouldn't be great in case one of the Hasses was to come along and do whatever Hasses do and go first.
Chuks finishing his lap, but his second to last corner he went very deep and kind of missed the apex. But he goes P5 with a 119.2. I do not think that is going to be enough for Q2, so he's going to have to improve on that on his second run.
Well, I mean, at this rate, only 3 drivers being knocked out, and if the rest of the grid sort of follows this 119s again, then it could be fine enough. But yeah, you would want to try and get a little bit more pace in that car, definitely, where you can. We have a few drivers on out laps. Nothing to. I think that's Evan. Yes, it is Evan. We're about to go on a flyer. DRS is open for the main straight, going down to 5th, pushing it there. I'm trying to optimize. We saw Josh go down to 4th, but maybe the track condition has improved a little bit as cars have been running on it through the session, going into this sort of. I don't know. It's definitely a chicane, but it feels like really elongated chicane. You've got a lot of weird chicanes here because then you got this really fast chicane where it's like just like small steering inputs, but you can take it like flat. It's really weird. Like
Oh,
Australia is the oh, what's happened?
it's Schukstra going into the pit lane. I think he must have damaged his front wing end plate, but not no real problem there as he was already going in anyways.
Yeah, that'll get fixed right up. Come back out again in a few minutes. Get another run in. Um,
Right.
Evan
We
just
got
going.
last week's winner, Jacobo, now on his hot lap.
Oh yeah, halfway across the circuit, I see him. With Evan, it's going to be looking like a 1:18.2.
That's a good lap.
Good lap there from Evan, putting it above the Hasses, but I don't know how long that will be staying like that. So um, don't
I
don't.
think a 118.2 could be enough to. Oh, Jacobo's car not looking too comfortable, but seems like a good lap. 118.8 P6. I think he's gonna have to improve on that lap.
Maybe. Jack and the Monster out for their first laps of the session. The Monster, no, sorry, Jack has invalidated it into the first chicane, it would seem. And the Monster following behind Jack's going to let the Monster on through in the Williams. So he'll be back around by the line before we know it. We have an Alfa Romeo approaching the line. I think it might be. It is fan favorite Gleaming. He has his own little fan club in the Twitch chat at times, Phil.
Is it?
I don't know. I don't know if you're aware, but Gleaming does have a little. I think it's like three or so people who come in and cheer whenever I say his name. So
We'll take
they.
it. Please. Oh, and the monster spun at
Ooh.
the long chicane. He just took a bit too much of that inside curb on the right, and that's ruined his lap
Eek. We'll have
and
to go
probably his
around.
tires too.
Definitely the tires as well. Yeah. Who was that jumping up the
As
leaderboard?
I think that was
Forzan.
Forzan going first.
Yep. 117.6. Just shaved a little bit off Rom, but it will do.
Jack's
Jacobo into the pits.
Jack's preparing his lap.
Yep. Gonna go into turn one now. The monsters come into the pit lane as we would expect, probably. Both Red Bulls
That was a
sort of going
clean
out. Go on.
that was a clean turn one by Jack. Seems like a pretty clean first sector. Gonna get a bit of a tow here from the Red Bull in front, I
I
think.
was gonna
His
say,
teammate. Oh,
teammate giving
beautiful
a
to see.
tow.
Oh, this is some good teamwork. Props to the Red Bull team for this one.
Trying to make sure.
Oh,
Oh, that's
he's
not what I want to
invalidated
hear.
it. Ah, it's a bit of a waste there from the tow.
Oh,
Oh,
and the tires as well. Oh, the
ah.
teammates slowed down. They're gonna go try and go again, or no, I
I
don't think they
wonder.
are.
I wonder if Jack was supposed to give Rom a tow now. Probably
Yeah, I
not.
think they were. I think when they swapped, it was gonna be that Rom was gonna set out for a flyer, as Jack would pull over down the straight, probably. I think that's what was. I think that's what it was gonna be.
Although honestly, Rom should be good. He probably does need another lap with a 17.6. That's a very competitive lap time there.
Hmm.
But yeah, Josh Thomo with a 120 definitely needs to improve as he's currently on a hot lap, I think. All right, 1 second up on his time. That's a good start. That seemed fairly good there. No curb at all on the inside. Interesting. No, no curb on the inside again. Oh, handled nicely that turn. Last turn. This could be a good lap.
This could be up
Let's see
there.
what he pulls. It's a 118.2. Good job, Josh. Good job.
Up there with the Red Bulls and the Hasses of the world. A Rogue Alfa Romeo joins the battle for the top few positions. Rom said.
The monster.
Rom said, yeah.
The
Rom was
monster
trying to get
also on a lap. He did a very similar sector 1 to Josh's.
the monster. Let me find. Oh, at the bottom. Here we go. Hasn't set a lap just yet.
Important to not invalidate here towards the end of the lap.
Oh,
get
I
a
see
lap
two
in.
Alpines. I see two Alpines going to be giving each other a tow. But the monster is going to come and set the lap before any Alpine shenanigans occur. Very nice last two corners there. The monster is going to go with a time of a 1:18.380 P6 on the standings. I know. Oh, actually, both Alpines into the pit lane. Obviously, they gave up on the tow, but looked like they were preparing for a tow as the monster zoomed on by, and they both pulled over in unison.
I think 118.3 could be enough for the monster. I think it's probably gonna be between Jacobo and Down. Those five drivers will probably battle it out for that Q3 spot
Fraser Fisher
as Jacobo
P3.
starts a new lap.
Fraser Fisher goes P3, 1:17.868. McLaren joining the top end fight. But I think with
Oh,
go on. Oh, Alfa Romeo giving a tow here to Gleaming. I was going to say we need to look at these bottom three because these three are the ones in danger. Gleaming given a tow by the teammate, hoping just that little push can get Gleaming out of the bottom three to see him into Q3. Young Shots is in the pits, so we'll be out in Q2. And Jack is currently in the process of trying to set a lap into the final chicane. Not going to get across the line in time for one more, I would imagine. So
Jacobo
it's
is not
this or
improving on his
nothing.
time. He's 3/10 down on his time.
Jack goes quickest! A 1:17.663 from not being able to set a time the whole of Q2 to go into the top of it. That took me by surprise. I'm sorry if I burst anyone's eardrums.
Delivering under pressure, and Jacobo only improves by 1/10 on his own time. What is Gleaming going to do?
Hasn't lost a car through the
Could
last
be down
section.
to the last few corners. Gleaming needs to improve 5/10 on his own time. And he does!
Done it! Wow!
Yes!
Gleaming
Wow.
to Q2.
Great job, Gleaming.
Q3, sorry. The fan club will be happy, but Verify will not be being knocked down out of Q2, sadly. Verify said he was 3 tons up on his lap and he spun round, sadly. So that did put an end to Verify's lap time.
But I think that Gleaming's improvement was basically everything on that last sector, because in sector 2 he was only up a few hundredths on his own time. So he must have done a beautiful last sector.
Josh Tomo saying this is what he does. Gleaming goat. CPI Troy though does get fastest. Jack did put in a stonking lap towards the end though, I must say. It took me by surprise, at least going from not be able to settle that and struggling with trap limits to go in second fastest in Q2.
So we have Alpine, the two Alpines out, and Jacobo, last week's winner, out too in P12. And also, actually, nice to see the whole of the top 10 under a second.
Oh yeah, you did say you wanted that. You said you wanted that. You kind of touched on it a little bit in Q. While you said it would be nice if we had everyone within a second.
Yeah. But it does seem to be between the two Haas's and the two Red Bulls. Fraser Fishy, 3/10. He either pulls one hell of a lap, or it's going to be between the top four.
Wow, it's all gonna get interesting. It's the top 10 fight for pole position in Q3 now. I'm gonna get started very shortly. Literally, very shortly. I mean, right now. Welcome to Q3. I'm gonna turn on all my data quickly so you can take a quick look at tires. They will be out on the softs. But prediction for pole then, Mr. Bufferino Phil, sir.
Um, I would expect Troy A to have pole. Yeah, I'm gonna say Troy A, but I think Jack was top in the previous session, right?
No. For I think one of the Hasses took it.
One of the Hasses.
Right at the end, yeah.
And they were up. Yeah, I wonder who still has two sets of new tires to use. That will also be interesting. But my guess will be Troy A, just because of how dominant he's been in the season so far. So that's my guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think I have to agree. The Troy has been showing some really good pace throughout this first half of the season. I think he does stand a really great chance here at just being a rocket around the circuit.
I'd be interested to see, because, for example, I see now that the second Haas is coming out of the pits if they're planning on giving each other a tow.
Oh, God. They probably are as
would be pretty well timed. Okay, but Troy A does not seem to be waiting.
There's a Ferrari that's putting into their plans, I think. So maybe not.
Yeah, but the Ferrari is also on an outlap, so
true.
Let's see.
But...
All right, everyone on new softs out right now.
New softs, is it? I can't tell.
And see, perfectly timed by the two Haas boys. Forsen getting a beautiful tow by Troy A on this back, sort of straight, not really straight, a bit bendy, but full throttle. And this is great work by the two of them.
Absolutely. Masterclass in teammate here.
Forsen did have to lift on the exit there, otherwise he would have been over the curb and would have suffered with oversteer. Let's see if he gets into the low 17s on this lap.
Could be, actually. The time was looking good through the last chicane. Wow.
17.5. Very competitive. I can't remember what the top time was in Q2. Can you?
Not that. That is definitely quicker, I think. So...
Yeah, it was like a 17.7 or something, right?
Yeah, I think a 17.555. Yes, it's definitely quickest.
Yeah.
We've seen
and now
today.
We can see that Troy A is now gonna be the one getting the tow. Let's see how they make it work this time.
Same place.
Oh, but Forsen is too is a bit too slow. He's gonna get a bit less. Yeah, they timed it a bit better last time. But let's see. Although the second sector isn't too bad, and I think Troye handled that chicane better. As Fraser Fishy goes P2, the monster P3, and it chokes her with uncompetitive time in P4.
Troy looking to a time similar to Forzan's from that last chicane exit. You might
I
get your low
think this is going to be
117
provisional
here.
pole for him.
There you go.
17.5.
117.518.
Yeah. Evan Sung goes P4 with an 18.0. And 17.5.1 and 17.5.5 are two very competitive times from the Haas boys. Let's see how the Red Bulls respond, as Jack has invalidated his current lap. Gleaming about to finish his lap.
The Gleaming fan club will be watching in awe as Gleaming is about to come across the line to set a 119.018.
Not the best of laps though.
No, I think it's worse than his Q2 time, maybe. So definitely some more pace
And
to
he's
give
invalidated.
there for Gleaming. Oh yeah, and as invalidated.
Your task is still not working, right?
Yeah, no, my task is dead. Mate, there's a hope.
I don't
There's
think it's
hope
gonna
that it
work
could
today.
work for the race, but if it don't work, then I'll just close.
Oh, Josh! Wow, Josh Thomas just went over the inside curb on the right at the chicane and kind of went flying a bit.
Oh,
Went into the
got some
gravel.
airtime.
Yeah, he's trying to clean up his tires.
Yeah.
It was good to keep it out of the wall. As Rom starts his lap at the end of the straight, and Josh follows him through. Let's see what the first Red Bull can do.
The second Red Bull might be coming out perfectly for toe territory on the next lap.
And Rom has invalidated his lap.
Yeesh. I think it might be toe time for the Red Bulls. If they want to get anywhere near the two Hasses, they are going to need to work together to get there, I think. So we're going to have to see some strategy masterclass here
Josh
between the two
Tomo,
Red Bulls.
3/10 down on the provisional pole time for now in Sector 1. Let's see what he does for Sector 2. Taking a bit of grass again, trying to 44.8. It's about 4 or 5 tenths down on the Haas boys, I think. Handles that corner very nicely. Doesn't quite kiss the apex on the last left-hander. A bit of correction on the last corner, but it's P5 for Josh, 18.4. There's definitely still at least around 2-3 tenths maybe in that lap. But I think he's going again. No, he's not. He's only got 0.6 laps of fuel left.
It'll be into the pits, especially with 4 minutes left. They need to get into the pits.
I think Forsen is finishing his lap though. Could be a competitive time, and it is.
117.426.
117.4.
Impressive.
And I think he's going again.
No, surely not. Look at the ERS level, and also we only have 3 minutes 30 left in the session. He's got to get back in the pits.
Oh, yeah.
And then go for another run. He's cutting the. See, yeah, he's definitely on an in lap. He's cutting it close here. He's has to
cutting that corner isn't quite allowed, but
maybe
if no one reported, it won't be looked at.
Well, I caught it on the stream, so maybe the stewards watching might need to put out something in the what is it? You guys have like a live thing where you're like race control. That's it.
Race control, yeah. I'm not quite sure if it's active right now, but yeah.
Hmm.
But after the first round of laps, it's going to be difficult for the Red Bull boys to beat that 17.4, especially on just one lap. You don't really know where you can still gain some time.
The monster just said, "Cheers, Cameron. I'm reporting." So that is gonna get reported, sadly. But God, why am I on the pit lane? Sorry, driver. Like sometimes my triggers will just activate randomly. Oh my God, Matty's in the chat. Yo, how are you, man?
Hello, Siski. Welcome to round 5.
Welcome to round 5. You've missed the other 4. Well, you have reasons for missing this one now, I guess. But oh well. Nice of you to drop it in, though. Hopefully you stay for a little bit. Watch the race start. It's been quite interesting qualifying. We've had some great strategy, towing, and the teamwork from the two Hasses to get them in a 1-2 position. Red Bull really needing to either set some really good times individually or get some teamwork together. But yeah.
This seems like a pretty good lap by Itchukstra. Maybe not for pole, but he's up 2/10 on his own time in sector 1 alone. Let's see whether he can. 44.5, also very competitive. Oh, and he's been dead at the long chicane.
That will probably
Unfortunate.
be a back, probably P10 start. The quality, if the quality is low, try and check your like stream settings and make sure you crank it, because I'm streaming from PS5, so you should be able to crank it. But yeah, depends on your connection. It puts you on automatic, but yes, that's how you fix the stream quality. If you are wondering, Red Bull's on a lap now. Rom has invalidated again. Red Bulls really seem to be struggling with track limits, but they can get some proper quick laps in if they don't get done over by track limits here. It could be.
Gleaming might be
Sorry.
snatching P7. Sorry, Gleaming might be snatching P7 from the monster, and he snatches P6 too.
Yeah.
The two Alfa Romeo boys separated by just 7 thousandths of a second. Very even there. But let's see what the Red Bull boys can do.
Well, Rom's got one lap to make it stick, and Jack ain't got long to get to the line. Last time I checked, it was about 30 seconds. But I think
that's a good lap.
It's a good lap. Oh, that was a competitive lap
though.
time. P3. There was possibility.
He can still do another lap.
Oh yeah, definitely. But the ERS definitely. It won't be the quickest lap, but the ERS isn't really there for it. But the fuel is. And now it's not.
I've just switched to Rom on the grass. I think Rom's going to be P10.
Rom is going to start. Oh!
As the other Red Bull.
Yeah, the other Red Bull joins him in the wall.
The monster puts in a very good lap in P4 with just one almost 2/10 away from pole. That's a very, very good lap by the monster. Well done.
Yeah.
As we have Fishy invalidated. Troy A up 700 on his time. Let's see if we can make that into a 10th. Getting a bit of a tow from the car in front. This could be pole. It is pole.
Oh, wow.
17.3.
Bang on your prediction as well. A low 117.
I think that is pole, and that's a front row lockout for the two Haas boys.
Jack can't do it. Front wing damage, and the Red Bulls are fighting. Believe it or not, they're having a little bit of a fight. But Jack is going to take the pit lane, and Roman's going to set the lap of, I don't know. I think it's invalid anyway. But he's going to wait at the line, be a bit tedious with it. But no. Interesting qualifying, but the two Hasses come out on top as the Red Bulls are going to suffer a little bit off the start. One of them starting P10, one of them P3. All of a sudden, it's gotten very interesting, and Rom is taking the run up to the line very, very carefully. There we go. Has taken the checkered flag. We are just waiting. There we go. Oh, interesting paranoid. Interesting paranoid. I mean qualifying. Interesting qualifying there, Phil.
I have to admit, I'm very impressed by the Haas boys. On every single one of their runs, they improved by around 1-2 tenths, and that's exactly what you got to do in qualifying. Just get to grips with the track, get to grips with the track limits, which, for example, Rom struggled with, and not being able to set a single lap in. But then we also have a very tight pack, you know. We have Gleaming and Schukstra separated by 200s, and then we have Evan and Josh. But I think the biggest surprise of this qualifying is probably the Monster. Putting that into P4, 2.5 tenths from pole. Respect.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The Monster's also the stand-in driver.
Exactly. One of those that is trying to prove, but we know the Monster is very good in quali. His biggest struggle is a race though. So let's see how he does.
Let's see on the race. There are no formation laps in FE, if I'm correct in saying. So I've got
incorrect.
Incorrect.
As long as the host is a driver, formation lap is on.
Okay. Well,
which is the case because Callum is the host, right?
I believe they fixed that bug, by the way. So hosts can do formation laps, although it's still a bit funny sometimes because I did it today, and the formation lap took a minute to start, like a few seconds to start up than usual, but it was fixed afterwards. But yeah, I think they fixed it, but it's probably still safer to run it this way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, there we go. Formation lap. I'll take a quick break.
Well, Phil's gonna let me do all the quick talking. I'm gonna assume. So yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna run you through a few things. Of course, qualifying ended up the two Hasses at the front. We'll take a quick look at the tyre strategies for each of the drivers. It's mediums for the whole grid via Jacobo on softs. The two Astons going for a harder compound tyre, going for a race stint, and Jacobo going for a more aggressive and shorter and fast, definitely, race strategy. But the softs do have quite a tendency to overheat, especially we saw, who was it in the last sector spinning out quite a lot? It was Sarcher with some really warm tires. They were softs, low degs, so it's all very temperamental at times with that compound. It all depends from circuit to circuit, but street circuits with the amount of downforce and tops you're running at times, it can be very detrimental. But yes, I think the main fight today is going to be between the two Hasses and the Red Bulls. Hopefully Rom can get a good recovery drive in up to support his teammate.
I'm back, sorry.
Welcome back, Phil. I was just telling them about qualifying.
Called.
Nature called. What did they say?
They said, Philippe, hurry up. All right, so I have to admit, I'm very curious to see what the Monster can do from P4.
Oh, definitely.
I think his confidence will be very high after achieving that. But I'm also curious to see what the duo of the Aston Martins can do, because they're definitely faster than P16 and P17. Maybe they can work together in terms of tires. Yeah.
Maybe.
Both the Aston Martins starting on hards, and we have Jacobo on softs and the rest on mediums.
Yep.
Let's see. Let's hope
see what happens.
It's a clean start. Take it away.
It's going to give me a rear view camera angle at the start, but it's 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 lights, 5. Don't say Austria. And we are green in Australia. for Formula V round 5. Some positions being gained off the start there. Two Hasses. The first one getting away semi-okay. Forzan being overtaken by Jack into the first corner. De Monster making a net gain on positions. Under threat by Evan, though. Managing to keep it. Evan now working with Fraser Fishy. There might have been a little bit of an accident, but it seems to be relatively okay. Towards the back of the grid, I assume Phil will fill me on once I have finished the first lap and everything calms down a bit. There's another incident, that time involving a Ferrari of Jacobo. There is fighting in the midfield, it seems. Rom has lost out on 3 positions.
Oh,
there
and Aston Martin is out. Stefan is out.
That's going to be a safety car. Yep.
Only virtual, though.
Oh, okay, only virtual.
It's actually something that happens quite a bit in Australia. It's mostly virtual cars. Safety cars are really something a bit rare. But I did see Stefan's incident. He was kind of spun around, and then he got touched again, and that's what caused the DNF. Noticeable, Jacobo P18 from P8. Also, Gleaming had a terrible start. He was last after turn 2, and an amazing start by Sarcher in P11 in the other Aston Martin.
Oh yeah, definitely. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. At the front, we have Jack, who seemed to have made a position on Forzan. The Monster stayed in P4. The 2 Mercedes didn't make too many. And we have Rom having a new front wing, Gleaming 2, and D-Block also in the pits. And we already have a penalty for Zap. 5 seconds.
Severe collision.
Maybe he was the one that... Yeah, maybe the Stefan collision.
Oh, probably, yeah. Severe collision with Stefan. It was a longer name, I can tell you that much. We're green again. Fraser Fishy and Evan having a little bit of scrapping off the start already. Fraser Fishy getting the jump on Evan, it would seem, going into P5. Going to go down this little bit of DRS straight, though, is Evan. No DRS as of yet, excuse me. But it is a DRS straight and something to note for later. Not for now, because DRS is disabled. But these two are going to be fighting it out probably for the remainder of this lap until one of them gets a pretty decent gap. Callum seems to be getting really close to the behind of Sarcher. Sarcher having a really good race start. Up how many positions? 6 positions. Callum also up 3, doing pretty well. The midfield is only on the ups as DRS is finally enabled, and those DRS straights all of a sudden become important.
Yeah, I would also like to note that 16th, 17th, and 18th, they all went onto the hards after their front wing change pits.
Yes, I did have the tyres up when they went into the pit lane, I think. But if not, thank you for telling me, because I don't know if I showed the stream. But yes.
Oisin also having a decent start.
Sure.
After the Q ban, the quali ban. But we have Forzan making his way onto the back of Jack. Now with DRS. Let's see if he can make it on this DRS zone.
Let's see, pulls to the outside. Going to think about going the long way around. Takes a lot of curb, but kind of has to if you're going for the outside line. Does get in front, though. Possibility of a switchback from Jack through any of the upcoming corners down the straight with DRS. It's not looking likely for them. Oh, never mind.
Oh, watch out, watch out.
Watch out, watch out, watch out. Don't reverse on into the pack.
Yeah.
But Haas were on the up and up, but now they're on the up and down. Down 8 positions is Forzan after that spin. I think the tyres just getting too loaded through that last sector.
And Sarcher in the dirty air almost loses it. Ends up only losing 1 position to Oisin. Did well to keep the car on track there. But yeah, that was a great move by Forzan there. Clean, controlled, but then
just lost it on the exit, yeah.
A bit too eager to have a good exit to stay clear of the DRS threat from Jack there. As the monster now into P3.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. He's kept P4, going up into the podium positions.
We have the two Mercedes swapping places as Zap overtakes Callum. But yeah, the person who's really lost at this start was Jacobo. On that, as we have Forsen and Young Shots having a fight here. As Forsen makes another overtake.
Same part of the track. Are we going to see the same spin?
As a Sector 3 incident, as Fraser Fishy seems to have spun.
It's done the same thing as Forzan a lap before.
Unfortunate.
Sandstorm asked in chat which hats cut the corner in quali, because I don't know if he's going to do with that information, but I don't remember.
I'm going to say Forzan, but you'll have to check the stream for that.
Yeah, you'll have to check the replay.
Evan makes a move on the monster.
Oh god, the monster could be swallowed up.
And Rom seems to have spun at exactly the same place as all the other ones. Yeah, that last turn is, as we have Josh very close to the monster and Evan, a three-way battle here as Jacobo
spun.
So let's see what the monster does here against Evan at the end of Sector 3.
Oh, the monster going for the position. Going to try and take the inside line. Hasn't lost out to Josh yet, but he's got to be careful when going for moves like that he doesn't end up losing too much time. Now Josh is going to go through, but Josh is in the barrier. Front wing has taken all that crumple effect. So no retirement from Josh just yet, unless there's an unsafe re-entry. On your note about the final corner, I think the reason why they're spinning out of that is because the load on the tyres for those last 3 turns, that chicane, is really high. So it's going to cause some... it's going to cause the tyre to be really hot, and on the exit, they just can't take the load, and it's just going to overheat and spin, really. I think that's what's happening. Tyre pressures are just a bit too high.
As Josh goes onto the hards after picking up a 5-second speeding in the pit lane penalty. And he comes out ahead of Rom, but on cold tires. Let's see whether Rom attacks him. Probably will. As it's a drag race to the third, turn 3, I think?
Yep.
But Rom clearly has the tire advantage there with the slightly warmer tires. But yeah, you were talking about the last turn. Yeah, it's incredibly difficult because you have a left turn and then you want to get as early on the power as possible, and then suddenly you're turning right while still accelerating. It's very, very tricky. People underestimate how tricky it is, as we have Oisin mounting an attack on Young Shots.
Those tyres looked really warm. He was slipping, sliding a little bit through the second sector, so I was worried he was going to go round in the third, but he was attacking Young Shots a little bit in that Alpine. So probably down this DRS straight, maybe we can get he can get the move done. Who knows? Oh, going to take the outside line.
Which turns into the inside for the next corner.
Yeah, definitely. Both of them having issues. Yeah, Young Shots having a bit more of an issue than Oisin, and Oisin is going to get about that, as I think, who was that? I think that was Josh Tomo picking up a penalty there.
It was Jack and Zep Ashboys. So at the front, Jack with 3 seconds, not the best after 7 laps of racing. But yeah, I'd like to bring attention to Sartre. He's having a really good race on those hards. Probably going to go the distance and then try to put on the softs or the mediums at like a late safety car, and he's keeping up with the other ones. Could be looking at like a P5, P4 if everything goes well. Let's see.
Also, at the front of this train here, this little bit of a train as Evan goes right into the grass. As you said, just gonna bring those people in the train.
And force and on verify into turn 1.
or
And it's
just about
another
caught the
overtake then by
overtake.
Forsen.
Forzan wanting to get back up to where they once were. So definitely some work to do there. But at the front of the train here, the P7 train, we have Eugene as who was that?
Gleaming
Gleaming.
retires.
It's a crash and it's a safety
and it's
car.
a safety car. And Josh has just passed the pit lane.
Oof.
So, but someone's in the pits. Who is it? Oh, it's T-Block. Okay, never mind. So we already have three retirees: an Alfa Romeo, Williams, and an Aston Martin.
Well,
but this is going to be great for the likes of Jacobo, Rom, Josh. Not so great for the likes of Sarcher, for example, because if he switches from those hards onto the mediums, I'm not sure the mediums will make it until the end.
It's also the fact, I think, there's always a possibility of gaining more positions, but always losing more positions, as everyone's going to come into pit, as I imagine they would.
Yeah.
So let's get the tyre diagrams up on screen. I assume we'll be onto the hard compound for most.
Let's see. Yeah, Sarcher is the only one that doesn't pit, so he's going to be the one leading the restart. Or is he? Is he going to come out ahead of the Haas? He's not, and also not in front of the Red Bull. Yes. Okay. That could be another safety car, though. Alright, as literally everyone pits onto the hards.
Yep, new hards for the whole grid, but one it would seem, and that one.
Jacobo goes onto the mediums. Yeah.
Oh, Jacobo's going soft, medium, hard. Probably, or soft, medium, soft.
Yeah, I'm guessing Jacobo is either he's committed. Jacobo likes to try out with strategy and likes to stay out and just survive. So he's either sticking with the mediums until the end, or if there's a safety car, he'll just go onto the softs.
And Josh Tomo also onto new softs. Well, not also onto new softs, which is very interesting to see.
Also having served his 5 seconds now, which is good.
Rom also hasn't pit, so he's on 7-lap old hards, but it's brought him up the field quite a bit. So hoping just to commit to the current strategy and not differentiate too much.
And also, Forsen now, after his spin, having to make those recovery overtakes, he's back within, I don't know, around 2-3 seconds of his teammate in first.
Definitely, yeah. It's definitely helped a lot of drivers, but it's definitely hindered quite a lot of drivers as well.
Josh Thomas gone onto the softs.
I did say, yeah, he went onto the soft compound.
That's an interesting choice. I guess expecting another safety car. It could be, with the hards, some people struggle with warming them up. Or some people assume they have a bit more grip than they actually do. Wouldn't be unheard of, as Young Shots and Fishy pit
for softs and one onto mediums, I think. Josh Tomo's pitting off the softs. I think that might have been an error.
It could be that Josh...
Unless Josh was trying to bait in Young Shots or something.
Oh, no, he's changing his front wing.
Oh, front wing.
He must have... As Fraser Fishy comes out with 8-lap-old mediums. That sounds
interesting,
like a mistake. Or maybe he wants to keep the soft for a potential future safety car.
I think what it was is that Fraser Fishy just wanted to get the mandatory pit stop done out the way, I think. So I think that's what it is. But
yeah,
who knows?
Actually, let's see who currently has the fastest lap. Where is that?
It'll be
fastest lap?
Yeah, fastest.
It's currently Forsan, yeah, with a 1:21.3. And yeah, his teammate has a 121.4, and everyone else has a high 21 or a 22.
Ooh, I'm taking a moment to breathe under the safety car because when it restarts, oh, never mind. The safety car does not want me to breathe. So I am gonna. It's gonna be fast talking in a moment as we're gonna get going. The real question is, with a bunch of new hard compound tires, have they warmed up the tires properly? If not, we're gonna have a fair bit of carousel here with a lot of
And Troy has
spinners.
gone.
Troy has gone. ERS deployed. Maximum throttle given. Forzan in the back making up a position on IDS. I think IDS, oh god, excuse me, has had a little bit of a moment there as Verify.
Yeah, he's had a terrible restart. Verify also overtook
Sorry.
him.
Yeah, Verify and Young Shots, the teammate of Verify, picking up a penalty at the back of the grid. Jacobo and Callum scrapping it out between the two of them. It would seem
As
Callum
we have
has
a
run
three-way
wide.
battle between Callum and Jacopo.
Shorts has just gone, and through goes Hamilton on the both of them. Yeah, that's what happens when you fight too hard. Forzan on for another move, this time on the Williams of the Monster. The Monster sitting on the verge of a podium. Safety car restart could have been huge if he could have gotten up into the podium positions, but the Monster just not being able to manage it, and is now going to have to battle with Forzan getting the inside line. Forzan going to be in front now for the next few corners. Is Forzan going to manage to defend from the Monster down the straights? Forzan looking pretty quick, so I would imagine that will be a yes. As Forzan ERS on CPI Troy, stealing the fastest lap of 121.29 to 297.
A great battle at the back of the grid, by the way.
Oh
Four-way
god.
battle for P13.
Oh god, yeah, this battle, I did see it when we had that three-way battle with Shots and those lot, but it has evolved a little bit.
As Forzan also goes into P3, overtaking Sartre on those old hards. He seems to be at a big time. Oh, as Forzan has spun it, and he's in the middle of the track and trying to beat someone.
Forzan spun it again. All the way to the back of the grid goes Forzan. And who's that? Oh no, that wasn't a spinner, sorry, that was just Josh Tomo making a move there on Callum and managing to get it to stick now. With Fraser Fishy behind, lurking on this battle, that we could see another through goes Hamilton moment. As who is that? That's Oisin. Losing out on a few positions there, on a bit of a go slow. Maybe tires felt like they were going to go under the car, but who knows? Verify up to Sarcher. Wait, where's the Monster? Oh, the Monster's in the podium places.
Sartre has spun, but the Ferrari of Evanston puts him, points him into the right direction as DRS is enabled, and Young Shots on those softs is up into P7.
The Monster now, actually, I dare say, running in some relatively clean air. Maybe Jack and Troy. Oh god,
Young Shots has spun.
A lot of spinning. Those hard tires probably haven't been too properly
actually on softs.
treated. Oh, okay, then that's a different issue.
Softs,
those softs have overheated.
But it's a very, very tight field from P8 all the way down to P14.
Definitely,
they're all within a second of each other. It's a bit of a DRS train there.
Who leads the charge?
Evan Sang trying to make a move on Sarcher right now.
It is Sarcher who leads the charge. It is the Aston Martin train. As Fraser Fishy and Callum are making an overtake, which you might have been able to see just in the background there with the wider camera.
And there's a yellow flag for Young Shots, I think.
Oh god, Young Shots tires, yeah. That's the risks with soft, you see. That happens. You end up so far off the pack now because you've spun once. Because those tires you've mistreated those tires and they've overheated. Evan and Oisin having a little bit. No, sorry, Oisin and Jacopo having a little bit of fighting in the back. of that. As Rom
The
and
Mercedes of Zap went very wide and lost position to Josh as he hands down Jacobo, who hands down Oisin. As Young Shots is spinning again in Sector 3 now. And there's a safety car.
Oh, full safety car.
Yeah, Young Shots is currently without a wing.
Yeah, build up
And-
of debris.
And he is going to be the only one who's going to be able to pit. Let's see if he pits onto the mediums or something.
Well, I assume he'll want to get that front wing changed, if I'm honest. So it'll be probably
But
a
this also-
hard.
This also gives Sartre and Rom finally a chance to get off those hard tires, as everyone else probably is going to commit to those hards, I would assume. Maybe Jacobo and Fraser Fishy will probably also want to get off those 12-lap-old mediums. As we take-
Oh, it doesn't have a front wing.
Oh, wow.
I've just noticed that.
Yeah, good spot, good spot. As Youngshot is pitting and goes onto the hards. And let's see who from the front runners pits.
Not the monster. Not Jack
P3,
or Troy.
P4 stay out. Rom pits with the old hards, obviously. Itchukser pits with his front wing. Sartre pits.
I think
Evan, no.
Eugene, no, one of the McLaren's pits. Fraser Fishy pits. But Youngshot's got to play catch up here. I have a slight feeling the safety car might go without him.
And yeah, as I said earlier, Jacobo now has committed to those mediums. Maybe there's a safety car at like lap 22 or something. He'll go onto the soft, but for now, he'll try his best with those mediums.
Yeah.
As the two Mercedes teammates are still paired up in P9 and P10.
Interesting.
Still keeping it on track. Oisin has done well to go from the back of the grid up to P6 on the same strategy as the people in front of him.
Wow.
Forzan now in P11 with those 6-lap-old hards. Yeah, and Sartre and Rom on basically new or fresh mediums in P12 and P13. Both with penalties, though, unfortunately. 3-second time penalties, both.
Just getting
And
some cinematic shots for the people in the social media department who always ask that under the safety cars I try and put the camera so there's nothing on the screen. So
Great
here you
content. So we currently have the two Ferraris in P5 and P7. Callum, severe collision with Zap Ashboys. That's a bit unnecessary, the two teammates colliding.
Eek. Maybe it was only a
And-
minor tap and it's
And I
ended
think
up-
Callum has lost. No. I can't see. But yeah, as I was saying, the two Ferraris in P5 and P7 on equally old tires, but Jacobo on mediums. Could be interesting to see how they work their way through the rest of the race. Jacobo is probably going to do well in the next 3, 4, 5 laps, but then his tires are going to start to fall off as the hard runners probably get a tire advantage at that point. And I mean, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but the monster in P3, looking at a possible P2 with Jack's 3-second time
Penalties?
penalty, and who knows, maybe those 3 seconds will turn into 6 seconds. And also, let's see what Oisin can do. We know Oisin has pace. He was talking about this. He was talking about a last to first challenge or last to podium challenge. Let's see how close to that he can get as the safety car is in this lap.
Sounds like a page I've heard out of someone's books before. A lounge.
As verified 5 seconds for a collision with the monster, which puts the monster into an even better spot.
Yeah, the monster in a nice little time penalty pocket, where he has actually got a bit of breathing space off this restart that he doesn't really know about.
And keep an eye on Rom and Sartre on those fresh mediums. They're gonna be probably the fastest people on track.
Yes,
As Troya has
definitely.
not surprised Jack this time. Jack significantly closer.
There we go. Sorry, my stream just
As
went down,
Oisin,
so I've missed that restart.
Oisin makes a move on Evan into P5, shoving
Yep.
Evan into his teammate Jacobo, who has Josh Tomo right behind him. This looks like a juicy four-way battle.
What between the two Ferraris, the McLaren, and what has
P5
happened?
and P8.
Callum.
It's Callum.
Is Callum on the softs by chance?
You know, he's on the hards.
Oh, okay. Well, different issue. Same problem. No, I mean, I thought it looked cloudy for a moment, but the weather seems fine. Of course, I haven't had Tass to tell
Evan
me.
making a move on Oisin, and very nice move by Evan on the outside of the redesigned right-hander.
Mm-hmm. Forzan up a
Yeah,
place.
that's the thing. That redesigned corner now is so wide that you can easily fit two cars there, and at the end of a DRS straight or DRS zone, it's become a prime overtaking spot. But here comes Oisin again on Evan, but without DRS, that's not gonna do anything. As Jacobo makes a dive bomb onto the McLaren,
Oh, I think I've just caught that while looking at
that could
Forzan.
easily have become disaster. As
Yeah.
Jack trying to do his best to keep within 1 second of Troye for when DRS becomes enabled.
Josh
We
Tomo.
could be seeing an over. Oh, and Forzan on Josh now.
Forzan
As
made that look
Josh
easy,
doesn't really
slitting
fight
in
it.
between the two cars of Josh Tomo and Jacobo. Made it look like butter.
Yeah, Josh probably knows it's easier following Forzan through rather than fighting him. As
DRS is
DRS is
enabled.
enabled.
10 laps to go
As
left
Rom's
of the
now.
GP. Sorry about that.
Forzan making a move on Jacobo, who's... Oh! Forzan
One wide.
blocks his brakes. As
Now
I said,
fighting.
Jacobo
Sorry.
defending for his life with those mediums. He knows he has to keep them behind as much as possible. But with 1% of ERS, there's nothing Jacobo can do on a straight. As Josh, a bit of a touch between the Haas and the Ferrari in front.
That's an end plate missing for a car behind due to a little bit of lag there. I'm trying to figure out what car that is with a missing end plate.
Rom's lost a wing.
That's who it is.
That might have been him. Forsen making light work of these. Oh, and we have Rom spun out. Yeah, without the front wings, a bit difficult. Force and noise and getting very, very close. As Verify gets very close to the monster. As Jack is still within the 1 second DRS gap.
Dare I say it's getting a bit cloudy?
True.
I hate
Getting a
to
bit
say
gray.
it. I mean, it's still definitely sunny on the track, but I just looking a bit grey. I hate to jinx anything, but I haven't seen the weather report because TAS is down, and my usual Channel 5 weatherman, the one time the computers ain't working, ain't reported to me. So I don't know if there's rain. So.
As Sartre and Ash Boys fighting for P10.
It was a big
As
squabble of
Sartre.
cars. Oh!
Oh, and the Mercedes has fun, and Young Shots touches him, and Fraser Fishy's also involved, and Callum's also involved.
Can you see pens? Of course, I'll turn
And
pens on.
Jacobo now on Forsen. Forsen must have had a moment, but Jacobo has. Oh, Jacobo
Down the
dives.
inside.
Oh, that was on the limit. But
Safety car.
seems all good. Virtual safety car
Yep. Only virtual, but safety car.
as Rom pits for softs.
I mean, 8 laps to go. Can't afford to pit to the soft compound, so no need why not to. But you've got 25 seconds gap now, so you've got some work to do unless there's a safety car coming your way.
Sartre also in P9 with 6-lap-old mediums.
Enabled we're going. Just to let you
Yeah,
know.
let's see what he can do now. Now as he catches up to the back of Josh and Forzan and Jacobo with a huge ERS advantage, almost 60% more than Jacobo and Forzan and 20% more than Josh. And Sartre and Josh fighting into turn 3. Josh on the outside, Sartre on the inside with a bit more traction, but Josh tries to fight him. And Josh stays ahead with some good defensive driving. Oh! Sartre was so close to Josh that he just slightly touched him and went into the wall, but I don't think he got any damage from that. As Jacobo now on Forzan, but Jacobo still struggling with ERS management.
I mean, it all comes important now as we're in the closing stages of this race, of course. So any position gained is a position gained. And yeah, this is where it all really starts to matter. I mean, still quite impressed with the monster managing to cling on to B4 and 0.4 seconds behind Verify as well. Could be on for a podium, especially with the penalties Jack and Verify do both have. But right now we are looking on with Josh and Ids on their little bit of conflict here with the Alfa Romeo and the AlphaTauri, going through these elongated chicanes, as I call them, I don't think they have a proper name, but that's what I would refer to them as. There's a yellow flag, sector 3, it's for Rom.
As Rom's had another spin, I think. And Jacob.
Oh!
trying to make.
Oh, that was lag. Sorry. I thought a car just like nosedived into the wall. It was Jacobo's car as well, but
Yeah, Jacobo trying to make a move, but without ERS, there is no way he's gonna get past Forzan.
yeah, no
And
shot.
those mediums must not be feeling too nice now with 14 laps. I think the usual strategy is to pit at like lap 12 or something. He's gonna start struggling as Sarcher now with 8-lap-old mediums onto the back of Josh Tomo with DRS and 60% of ERS. Tries to go around the outside of turn 1. Tries to make a switchback with the drag racer onto turn 3. Sarcher on the inside, Josh on the outside. None of them is gonna give way to the other one. As up front, the Haas and the Ferrari fight. And very, very close fighting here in this pack. As Evan also coming up to the Monster. And now Schukstra should make easy work of the ERS-less Jacobo. Cameron?
Yeah, sorry, my mind's just gone. Sorry, I warned you. My mind just goes at times. I'm so sorry.
All
went,
good, all good.
I went quote unquote brain dead, as I call it. But Ids is actually going to try to move on for Zan, and it's actually nearly worked out. Just a little bit argy-bargy between the two of them, but because of that, it seems like Jacobo might actually get Ids back. No, it hasn't. Just Tomo. 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. Evan going to be on the behind of the Monster down the straight into the chicane. No props just yet. Going to be going down through DRS now. Not too much DRS there for Evan, but Evan is going to sadly stay behind of the Monster. The Monster has sort of lost out a little bit of time because of this scrapping, I would imagine. So podium may be off the cards. Actually, no, not off the cards because of penalties. He's just got to maintain the gap here.
Exactly.
4 laps to go. Or so. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 4 laps. 4 laps to go. Can the Monster hold on? Evan is going to try and be very assertive with the line, I will say. But the Monster is assertive back. Yellow flag for a lapped car. I think it's Rom.
It's Rom, who's in the middle of the track. Let's hope no one hits him. Please don't move, Rom.
Can move now.
He does well.
Now. Ids, Forzan. Ids has gone round.
It has.
Eek.
It's unfortunate. He was having a pretty good race.
I don't like. I see one of the barriers glitching out. I just hope it doesn't turn into one of those barriers that like comes onto the track and starts flinging drivers about, because that would not be fun. Just be careful of the barriers around there.
And we have
has crashed.
Rom has retired. That's
car.
a safety car. Let's see if Jacob. Oh, this is verify pits. Probably to get rid of his 5-second penalty. But he's gonna lose. At least it's gonna come out of P6 or something.
The Monster just got a drive-through penalty. The Monster's gonna have to serve that.
The Monster got a drive-through?
Yeah.
Oh,
Can't serve it under
that
safety
hurts.
car.
He did so well. Oh, he must be fuming in that cockpit. Oh, that's devastating. And Sarcher now on those 12 lap old mediums into P5, but he does have 6 seconds. Verify in a very good position here. With fresh softs now. No penalties. Same for Jacobo, honestly, in P9. But we do know there's not going to be any DRS, right?
Yep, no DRS.
Probably not. Safety car coming in this lap already. I think Verify is going to be the biggest threat, at least the biggest challenge to the podium.
I don't know if the monster can pit here because the safety car will have ended by the time he's entered the pit lane, but I wouldn't risk it.
I don't think he can. I don't think he can.
So the monster's going to have to do it in racing pace. Everyone at the back pitting for soft.
So unfortunate though. The monster's great qualifying, kept it clean during the race, and then gets a drive-through 2 laps from the end, as Troy, I think, has gone.
Troy has gone. I wasn't on board with the DRS. And who's that? Evan, caught at the chicane, caused a pile up with Fraser Fishy. Hopefully the other cars don't get too stuck on that, but Evan has come out of it pretty fine, as can be. The monster, actually, technically, if he doesn't serve the drive-through, he would pick up a 5-second penalty, which means he would stay ahead of Sarcher, but he would lose out to Verify. Shot you actually, no, there's no point.
He only gets 5 seconds?
I think so.
Oh, honestly, I'd rather have 5 seconds than a drive-through.
It's unserved penalties, so it'd be 5 seconds at the end of the race.
As Verify makes a move on Sarcher on those fresh softs.
Verify's getting through.
Jacobo trying to make a move on young shots, but oh, yeah.
Oh, never mind. If you don't do a drive-through, you're gonna get DSQ'd. Do the drive-through, please. Don't listen to me, because I'm wrong.
Jacobo doing his best to get past Verify as young shots, as quickly as possible, but pulls a bit of a suspicious move there, pushing young shots onto the grass as the monster serves his drive-through now.
Yeah, sad times with the monster. It just all came out on unfortunate circumstances at the end of it all, but I'm sure if Williams are looking for a Division 1 driver, I think they know who they're going to call after this weekend. So I don't think it's too much of a loss here for the monster. I mean, loads of people having a lot of great drives. We'll take one last look at penalties just so everyone can take a look at that.
The monster is also driving for the team, and Williams, I think they're P6 in the constructors right now in Div 1. They could really use with those 18 points, and now they're probably going to get no points at all.
It was a great drive from the monster, though.
As there's a
Josh and
bit
Zap.
of a tussle for P6.
Oh yeah, definitely. But at the end of it all, lap 29 and 29 is CPI Troy, who wins it out again, but this time in Australia. Congratulations. Verify's going to snag P2. TTL Jack P3. CPI Forzan, great recovery drive after multiple spins. P4. Jacobo P5. Zap P6. Archer P7. Just Tomo P8. Callum YT P9. Young Shots P10. Evan P11. I couldn't quite catch the rest, sadly. But we will find out. Sarcher takes home the game's driver of the day. Congratulations to him.
I would say the biggest surprise here was Zap Ashboys P6. That's a great result for someone who I think joined the league one or two races ago.
Yeah, not too long
He's
ago.
currently Div 2 driver for Mercedes. Very nice drive from him.
Yeah, great drive though. From CPI Troy once again, winning it in Haas. Congratulations to Haas again on another victory. It is them who are going to take it at the end of the day, though. So congratulations to Haas and congratulations to Verify and Jack on your podium finishes. I'll do a quick run through of the finishing results as it follows. CPI Troy, Verify and Jack all take podiums 1, 2, 3 in that respective order. Forzan just missing out P4, Giacomo P5, Zap P6, Sarcher P7, Josh Tomo P8, Callum YT P9, Young Shots P10, Ids P11, Evan 12s, Oizin P13, The Monster P14, Fraser Fishy P15, Ron P16, Gleaming P17, D-Block P18, and Stefan P19. Sadly for the other Aston Martin, but the other Aston Martin, as you said, great recovery drive from them. Wow.
So who's your driver of the day?
I mean, I have to agree with you with Sarcher. It's been a great recovery drive, but the Monster...
Sarcher. I didn't say Sarcher.
No, who did
the
you
game
say?
said Sarcher.
Oh, no.
I thought Zap Ashboys from
yeah.
P14 coming
Sorry.
on P6.
Yeah.
First race in Div 1, I think. But Verify P2 from P11. That's a pretty good result, too.
Yeah, I think I have to go with Forzan. Yeah, he started quite high up, but those spins really didn't help. And he's come back up to P4 from essentially plumb last. So I have to congratulate him on that, where it is due. Yes. What is the situation with interviews?
Feel free to invite them if they come.
Okay, I'll do P1, so I'll get Troy in here. Hold on. Spoken to Troy before, so hopefully we're not in any untrod territory. So let me just convey that message. I think they know, but I'll just say GG's to the lot of them. There we go. Didn't even need to ping him. Just that he knows. Hello, Troy, again. Welcome back to the box of comms. I see you're muted, so I'll just give you a moment or two to sort yourself out. There you go. Hello. Welcome.
Thanks, man.
Congratulations on the P1 again. You're absolutely smashing it so far in this first half of the season as we're nearing the end of that. But first of all, just tell us a little bit about your race today, how you felt you did.
I don't know. It was pretty enjoyable, I'd say. I did what I had to do and just tried to stay out of trouble, tried to not make any mistakes, and I guess it paid off.
Yeah, I mean, you drove pretty clear in the race. We saw a few people near the end just missing out on podium positions due to penalties. And yeah, of course, you drove a really clean race. Your teammate having a few struggles, but with a great recovery drive up to P4, I must say. And of course, you two in qualifying worked really well as a unit. Was that the plan to go out and give each other the toe? Was it meant to be timed?
Not really. Like I told him before the quali, like if you see me in a good position to give you the toe or vice versa, yeah, just like give me a wink, and I'll try to do my best. And then it ended up being pretty well, or at least the one I gave to him. Then the one
Perfectly
he
timed.
gave to me was a bit mismatched, but it probably still gave me like half a tenth, maybe a tenth on the straight. So it was pretty fine. But then both our like best laps were without the toe anyway, so it didn't really matter. It was just fun trying it out, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough. Hold on, I just got a DM I need to respond to.
Yeah. Hey, Trey, Bufferino Phil here. GG on the race. In
Thanks,
the
man.
how difficult was it to, there were like 3 or 4 safety cars, some of them virtual. Did you ever consider pitting, or is going from mediums to hards the best strategy?
Uh, I mean, when I did box during the safety car, then I obviously considered it since that was almost at the pit window, anyways.
Yeah.
And then when the second safety car came out, I had used up my mediums already, and softs it would be too long of a stretch to take them to the end. So I just decided to stay out on hards, and most of the field did the same, which was the most logical thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough there. Fair enough there. Actually, like a curiosity question. We saw a lot of people spinning out, whether it was at the last corner, whether it was at the end of sector one. What do you think is the most difficult corner on this track?
Oof. I'm gonna say last corner just because I've spun there a couple of times, but it could be any corner here, to be honest. Literally, the first sector and the last sector has so many corners where you could just get on the throttle too quickly, or just lose the rear. So, but if I had to pick one, I'd say the last one most likely.
Okay, fair enough.
Any more?
Any expectations of the next race in Spain?
Uh, Not really. Just show up and try to score some points. I think Forsen told me that Rom's been talking a lot about Spain being a strong track for him, so I will try to show up there and ruin his dreams, I guess.
Man, good luck.
Thanks, man.
Um, yeah, Troy, no more questions from me. It seems Phil asked all his questions. So, no, you've driven a great race today. Congratulations on your win. One for many of your collection so far, probably. So, go enjoy the rest of your evening or day or whatever time of day it is where you are. And yeah, go enjoy the celebrations, mate. Have a great one.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Have a nice one.
Thank you, thank you. Have a great day, mate. Um, Thank you, Phil, for joining me here today for the lovely Australian race. Any highlights from you?
Um, I gotta say, I really like that four-way battle between Jacobo, Evan at some points, Forzan making his recovery drive, Josh, and then we had sometimes Itchukstra, sometimes Sartre at the end. I thought that was really nice to watch. And between them, I thought it was very clean racing. We also saw some dive bombs from Jacobo. Maybe there will be some reports there. I remember one where he kind of sent young shots onto the grass. I'm sure that will be reported. I would say that was the highlight. And also that perfectly timed toe in quali by the Hasses. I got to give them some respect for that one.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on all of those. Thing I remember, mainly because I yelled at the top of my lungs, Jag actually managing to set a time Q2 where it mattered, and it was high up on those timing sheets. So yeah, that's the bit that stuck with me through today. But of course, those fights as well are quite unforgettable. Thank you, Phil, for joining me.
Yeah.
If you have any closing words, you can say them now. But other than that, I'll just say goodbye to the stream.
I mean, as you do, you Spain.
Uh, Spain. I mean, it's Spain. So no, I mean, I don't. I think I'll have to see when I get there. Really, I'll see how I feel on the day. But I think Spain's an interesting track. So I think It's got that. The tires are going to be a big issue, so we're going to see a lot more spinning, I think, especially with soft
Even more.
compounds. Even more spinning, yes, because that
Yeah.
NASCAR section with the oval bit really drives the tires into the ground and overheats them quite a lot. So we'll see a lot of spinning in qualifying. If anyone dare go on the softs in the race, we'll see some spinning there as well. But no, hopefully a good race.
Yeah. Well, Cameron, I love sharing the comments box with you. Maybe we'll do this some other day. Yeah, it was nice commentating Div 1 again. I usually commentate some other divisions. So, yeah,
Well, welcome back.
was
Always
good.
glad to have you.
Was good. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in with the stream today. I know we had quite a lot of viewers, so thank you all for sticking with us. It has been us here from Australia. We'll be coming back at you from Spain next week. But from us now, it is goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your day. Adios. And we'll see you next week.